Space, humanity's last horizon. These are the records and expeditions of the Federation starship Lovelace. Assigned an ongoing galactic charter, the intrepid crew of the Lovelace explores the excitement of strange new worlds, encounters new life forms and new civilizations, and ultimately seeks to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Star Trek Adventures Lovelace. My name is Nicotine. I'm the GM for this show. If you are listening to us on podcasting apps such as Spotify or Stitcher, know that we record this show live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on Twitch at twitch.tv/FableScraps. Joining us today are three fantastic role players. We're going to go around and introduce. But before we do that, I would like to remind you that by experiencing our show live here at Twitch, the audience is in fact able to affect its outcome through the cunning use of donations. You'll see on the screen that we have a threat meter and a momentum meter. The threat meter is depleted when dangerous things affect the crew. The momentum meter can be used by the crew to enhance their circumstances through re-rolls or through gaining insight or knowledge into certain tasks or complications. These meters can be affected by the live audience here through !coin or through our special donation link in the About Me page on our Twitch channel. That being said, I take you now to the crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace. We'll start with Fist of the Walrus. Hello, Fist. How are you?
Doing good.
Go ahead and introduce yourself. If Fist of the Walrus sounds good, chat, I want you to spam ones in chat.
Hopefully get a lot of ones. But, hello, I'm Fist of the Walrus. I roleplay on Twitch. Variety of different games from GTA to Ark, Conan. And aside from that, I do some variety every once in a while.
Fantastic. And where can people find your content?
You can look me up on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter at Fist of the Walrus.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Fist. Hey, Fist, what's your favorite color?
Blue.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you very much, Fist. I've raised your volume just a little bit. Next up, we have Aaron Black.
Hello.
How are you, Aaron?
I'm okay. Doing quite okay.
What is the mask behind you? What is that?
Tarian from Mass Effect.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. And the mouth moves and everything.
Wow.
I built it.
Articulated facial features.
Yeah, I know.
The
I'm
future
quite
is
proud
now.
of it.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Aaron Black. I'm an author. I published a book this month called Firewall Down. It's a cyberpunk detective mystery. Yeah, if you want to know more about that, you can find me on Twitter under Aaron B. Writes.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I got my copy. You should get yours, chat. Last but not least, we have Enovan. How are you, Enovan?
Hello. I'm pretty good.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Enovan. I'm a Twitch streamer. Typically, I play on the Twitch RP server, playing a funny little robot guy. And sometimes I play mixed reality and VR games as well.
If Enovan sounds good, I want some threes in chat.
Let me see those threes.
How do you spell Enovan for the people listening?
Enovan is spelled Enevun.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. So I think we're ready to start. It has been a good 3 to 4 weeks, Earth weeks, since our last episode took place. In that span of time, Herrick, Commander Herrick, the second in command, the Vulcan head of security of the U.S.S. Lovelace, has had to make a trip back to Vulcan to assemble some paperwork to hopefully try to get the computer repaired. It is a bureaucratic nightmare, but luckily Herrick does not experience emotions like frustration. However, the crew of the Lovelace has been tasked with conducting science surveys of planets that were once considered Class M worlds, but have since fallen into some form of disarray. So far, you've been to 3 such worlds in various stages of environmental decay. Whether it was a result of natural causes or some ancient civilization having destroyed their world through war or industrial means, is sort of your task. It's part archaeology, it's part science, environmental survey, but it's very important work to Starfleet. And so, you find yourself on a planet not even given a proper name, planet 436. It is in a backwater system near the neutral zone. Tensions have been reduced slightly with the Romulan Star Empire, a group of Vulcan-like creatures who are hostile to Starfleet and have been in a Cold War for years. Tensions haven't boiled over in some time, so there's not exactly an overt threat to the Lovelace in this location, although it is near a neutral zone, a DMZ of sorts. We open today aboard the U.S.S. Lovelace with Lieutenant Commander Belmont. Lieutenant Commander Belmont, head engineer of the U.S.S. Lovelace, is hunched over a workstation, frantically pressing buttons and adjusting sliders. There are sparks behind him. There are some severe malfunctions happening, but he's not alarmed. He's in fact seemingly completely in his element, absolutely in tune with everything happening around him, although his crewmates and subordinates are terrified.
Computer, are the alterations to my specifications, have they been completed?
Alterations have been completed to your satisfaction.
All right. Let's go ahead and activate the device.
Activating device.
A sub-bass whirring happens, and you can feel it in your chest, Lieutenant Commander Belmont. This dark note of some kind of vibration happening. The entire ship appears to rattle before you. Your subordinates, Ensign Ryak and Ensign Salixon, are hurriedly skittering around behind you, trying to put out fires that are happening and sparks that are taking off. What is this device?
This device is an alien technology that I had found and have been tinkering with for quite a while. It's designed to push a warp core into a trans-warp mode. And it's all theoretical. And I have attached it and activated it.
Interesting. So is the ship jumping to warp now? Is that the plan?
It's supposed to be,
Okay.
but transwarp is a theoretical technology that allows a ship to essentially access any point in space at almost the exact same time.
Interesting. As close to time travel as we can get. So I'm gonna go ahead and have you make a roll here. I'm gonna have you make a complication roll, complication range of 3, task roll of 2. It'll be a a control and engineering roll.
Control and engineering. Okay.
Wow, full success. All right. So you're going to you're going to take the ship to transwarp. All of the systems that have been set in place on this experimental vessel, the U.S.S. Lovelace, are groaning to life, and you need to call the bridge to let them know that it's okay to make the jump.
Okay. Belmont to bridge.
That'll be Captain Lockstead who answers.
Coming.
Captain, we are ready to jump to warp when you are ready.
Are you sure this is going to work?
I'm 70% sure, Captain. It's about the best I can do.
70% is good enough for me. Proceed, you legend.
I would then go ahead and computer activate the device.
Activate.
And at that very moment, the entire ship comes to it like a juddering kind of halt, a groan, with all of the mechanical parts and pieces of this vessel have been just sort of cobbled together. They've started to fall apart almost, to disintegrate. The pieces of Jeffrey's tubes, the bits of all of the engineering ducts have started to shake apart, and the emergency lights have kicked on. The rest of the power is out. Somewhere there's some sort of short.
Computer. What happened?
Scanning now. There appears to be a short in main engineering.
Any specific place? Is it only one short?
Scanning. Negative. There are many shorts, approximately 17,000. Wait. 17 shorts.
Well, that's better than the last time. Computer, reset simulation.
Unable to comply.
At that very moment, the rest of the holodeck begins to dissipate, and Lieutenant Commander Belmont finds himself in a large empty space, about the size of a warehouse, and there are green lines denoting the floor and the sides of the walls. Holodeck technology is extremely advanced, capable of creating any kind of a fantasy or simulation for work, for scientific tests. Lieutenant Commander Belmont's allotted use of this technology, allotted time in his holodeck, has been expended.
All right.
And instead of running the simulation again, Lieutenant Commander Belmont finds himself alone, with no subordinates and no contact with the captain, who is in fact down on the planet below, this no-name backwater ice world in one of the modular science stations. We switch now to Lieutenant Ram. Lieutenant Ram, you are in your makeshift quarters. What is actually the ship's main computer server room, essentially. The isolinear routing matrix. When the U.S.S. Lovelace was built and designed by Starfleet, it was built into an old husk of a type of ship called an Excelsior. The Excelsior was not designed with these modern accoutrements in mind, and so sacrifices had to be made across the board. This room is not intended to be a server room, but has had to make do. It is also home to the crew's artificial crewmate, Lieutenant Ram. Can you describe the room a little bit, Lieutenant Ram?
So the room is kind of like a basic sort of server room. There's racks of servers, a lot of technical wires, computer pieces everywhere. There's, that's just the typical server room stuff. And just in the corner where there's a little bit of space, there's like, you wouldn't really call it a bed. It's more like a table that had been makeshifted into a bed, because Ram doesn't really need to sleep all too often, but he likes to feel like it is his own little quarters. And just on the side as well, there's a little shelf with a plant on it that may or may not be fake, but he still waters it nonetheless.
That is adorable. So, Lieutenant Ram is in this room doing what?
At the moment, he's most likely watering the plant. Actually, yeah, that's probably what he's doing at the moment.
He's taking care of the artificial plant that doesn't actually need water, but he's watering it nonetheless.
Yes. There's a lot of water in there that isn't going anywhere, but he doesn't really notice.
Wonderful. Lieutenant Ram is an artificial crewmate, not biological, but capable of interfacing with the ship's main computer instantaneously. Are you plugged in at all at this point?
After watering the plant, he would plug into the computer to see how everything's going on the ship.
Yeah. All right. So,
Hello, Ram.
Hello, computer.
How are you doing today?
Oh, doing quite good. I was just making sure the plant was all right and everything. How are you?
How's the plant doing? It's not dead yet, is it?
He doesn't seem to be drinking the water at the moment, but I'm sure he'll drink it in time.
There are no life signs visible from this plant.
I just think it's a little bit of a different plant is all. It takes time, it's like a cactus. It absorbs water slowly.
Affirmative.
No,
We'll make
I
it drink
think that's what cactuses do.
slowly.
I've only really heard about cactuses before, but I assume that's what they do.
Ram, you have one update pending from Starfleet. Shall I deploy it?
What sort of update is it? It's just like,
Scanning. Necessary performance upgrades and audio drivers.
Perfect. Guess I'll install that now before we start the day off properly.
You would like to install the audio drivers and performance updates.
How long is this going to take me to update? How big are we talking here?
Approximately 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Oh, okay, that isn't too bad. That could be worse. I mean, it could be a Windows update, Yes, I'll update now.
Affirmative. Deploying update.
we
Computer?
move now to Captain Lockstead. Captain Lockstead is not only the captain of the U.S.S. Lovelace, but its chief science officer. And as such, it is his duty to conduct environmental surveys using the ship's modular science stations, of which there are 2. Modular science stations are sort of like large, kind of like, I guess they'd be sort of like shipping containers sized. Science rooms, basically, just rooms to conduct experiments in. They're deployable, and the U.S.S. Lovelace is currently in orbit above this backwater planet with no life signs. But long-range scanners have detected trace elements of radiation, which are either indicative of a loss of atmosphere at one point or of nuclear fallout. Your mission here is to determine which of those is the case, and to that end, you are taking core samples of this sheet of ice that is covering 90% of the planet. You've deployed the modular science station, and you are currently outside running the drill. It's loud and sweaty, and the only one there to keep you company is Ensign Ryak, a Betazoid operations ensign who helped design the drill that you're using. So the expert of this drill is with you. How are you going about your business here on the planet? It's daytime, but it is very cold, and you have some Starfleet park on, and it's starting to get to you.
I'm like, as I'm drilling, I'm like huddled around it for warmth because as I use it, like the heat that vents off, I'm assuming it's keeping me warm. I just kept like I keep checking back just to make sure that I'm operating it correctly. This is my first time, I guess. I guess it wouldn't be the first time me operating a drill like this, would it? Or
no, it wouldn't be your first time operating the drill. But it would be an uncomfortable experience. It's a pretty large piece of machinery, about twice as large as you are, and it's been deployed like a on these legs. And it's currently drilling down into the surface about 30 feet or so to take a core sample. So you're outside working on the thing?
Yep.
Working on it, okay. Ensign Ryak is next to you, shivering, and doing that kind of thing where he's like trying to get like a little bit closer to you, and you're not sure if it's for body warmth or if it's just because the wind is awful. And he's trying to find a way to like get out of the wind, but he's like a little bit too close for comfort.
Hold on a second. You want to back up a little bit there? You're getting a little close.
I can't hear you, Captain. What? What?
You're getting a little close. Are you cold, Ryan?
Can I go inside the station?
What?
I want to go inside the science lab.
You have a rash?
I want to go in the lab.
We have ointment in the lab. Check the medical supply.
Okay.
Ensign Ryak shiveringly walks over to the modular science lab, punches a code, and a door slides open a little too quickly for comfort. You're still getting used to the new doors, and it just makes you uncomfortable. Ensign Ryak walks in, and the door shuts behind him. As that's happening, the drill starts to shake and jitter, and eventually starts to groan and stops, sort of sounding a little bit like it's either hit something or broken.
That's not good.
I'm gonna have you make a roll for me, Captain. You're gonna make a roll. It'll be a complication of 3 and a task roll of 2. It'll be a presence and command roll.
Okay, presence And command. You said a complication of
3.
2?
Three.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
That's roll 2. Okay. Oh.
Huh. Okay. Well, so, you're trying to call for Ryak, but Ryak, is under so much stress and hates being inside of this tiny little modular science lab, and just doesn't want to come out at all. Just doesn't want to come out. Hates it. Hates everything about it.
Ryak, please! The drill! There's something with the drill! Ryak!
Ryak, hits the communicator.
Captain,
Yes?
I don't wanna come out.
There's something wrong with the drill. I'm gonna have to... Oh man, it is windy out here. It is so windy. It feels like I am being pierced by 1,000 icicles.
What's wrong
Oh,
with
it's so cold.
what's wrong with
There's something wrong with the drill.
What's wrong with it?
It's like whirling and buzzing. Just come out here. It's so cold I can't see.
Okay.
Ryak comes out of the modular science lab, the coat just like a little bit tighter around him, and shuffles over to the drill, which is absolutely broken. And Ryak sort of looks at it as questioningly as one can look at a drill with a face full of goggles and mask and everything, and just screams,
Well, there's your problem right there, Captain.
What?
It hit something.
It did? Well, what did it do? Well, hold on a second.
Is there like a way to check to see if like I have any readings on what I might have hit?
you can use your tricorder. Yeah, that'll be a we'll call it a insight and science roll, but it'll be a complication of 3.
Okie doke.
Okay,
Yes.
so your tricorder is difficult to use in this weather, but you have the tricorder, and it's starting to give you some scans. You're beginning to see that that about 30 feet down, at nearly the length of this drill, there's some sort of metallic object, or what appears to be some sort of metal. But the tricorder is having difficulty deciphering its shape. All you know is about how deep it is.
Captain,
What?
the core sample looks intact. I say we take it and get out of here.
Agreed. It's so cold out right now. There has to be a definition for this type of cold. Let's be quick about it.
I'll get it ready, Captain.
Ryak begins to make preparations to take the core sample back into the modular science station, where both of you will lift off and return to the U.S.S. Lovelace. Back on the Lovelace. Belmont in main engineering has come face to face with the subordinates, Salixon and Ensign Salixon and Ensign Gregory. They are completely oblivious to the to what goes on in Belmont's holodeck time, and are going about their daily jobs of maintaining the Lovelace's 2 reactor cores for power. Ensign Gregory is doing a little bit less and has a little bit less responsibility than Ensign Salixon, who is an Andorian and grew up very familiar with this kind of equipment. Ensign Gregory is good at pipes. And that's about it. So Ensign Salixon is taking up the majority of the duty here. Lieutenant Ram walks in and is wanting to kind of see how the update has affected any kind of motor controls or speech, while Lieutenant Commander Belmont performs routine maintenance on the 2 reactor cores. This isn't a normal location for you, Lieutenant Ram. You don't usually go to main engineering. You don't have a whole lot of reason to, but you're pretty familiar with its layout. So you're looking for Belmont right now. You got to find him.
Ram?
I thought Ram had to find him.
Oh, I thought he was already in here. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you've heard the door open. You've heard the door open, and you looked over and can kind of see him, but he's sort of a distance away. The main engineering's pretty big. It's a pretty big room.
That's fair. Well,
Hey there, Belmont.
Robot.
Ram. Say that again.
Hey there, Belmont. How are you?
Much better than you, it sounds. I did see that there was an update for you. That was, I believe, the computer was going to push to you. Have you updated?
Correct. How can you tell?
Mm-hmm. Right. So I don't think it worked quite the way it was supposed to. Can you run self-diagnostics on your audio or whatever was updated?
Wait, let me check. Computer.
Okay.
Computer.
The computer does not respond.
Oh no.
So,
Ensign
okay.
Salixon from one of the catwalks above you starts to call down to Lieutenant Commander. Lieutenant Commander.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm noticing a couple shorts up here. Has anything changed as far as configuration of the secondary reactor? They don't seem like vital systems, but is anything?
Oh, that. Yes, absolutely. That is actually an efficiency maintenance protocol that I am rewriting currently. Go ahead and correct those shorts, and if you could, please monitor them.
Are we doing are we doing a reroute? Because I can cap off the short here, and then we can continue the reroute.
No. I need to see how much, how often those shorts happen. So if you just pay attention to them, and over your shift is Did your shift just start?
Yeah, it just started.
Okay, so for the next 4 hours, just routinely every 30 minutes or so, take a look in between your other duties.
Yes, sir. Ensign Salixon, one of the more capable ensigns aboard the U.S.S. Lovelace, is hard at work. The captain calls you Belmont and wants to prepare the Lovelace for docking with Modular Science Bay.
Come in, Belmont.
Yes, Captain. I'm here.
First off, that was the coldest I've ever been in my entire life. I'm talking about an advanced cold. I never want to go back down there again. Anyways, we're coming in.
Oh, very good. I will make sure that we are prepared for your docking.
Fantastic. We found a sample while we were down there. We're bringing it aboard now.
Oh, that is interesting. Very good. Let me get one of my guys on it, and I will meet you on the docking bay.
Fantastic. And maybe something warm to drink as well. Oh, God. My hands are so cold I can't even touch anything right now.
I'll get Ensign Gregory right on that.
Captain, ask him to bring a blanket.
What?
Ask him to bring a blanket.
And a blanket as well. Please.
Absolutely. I will make sure to bring some blankets as well.
So cold. So cold. This is Captain out.
So, the Lovelace is preparing to dock with the modular science bay. The Lovelace, having undergone so many drastic changes to its design, is overall a very capable science vessel, but at the cost of most offensive capabilities whatsoever. The forward torpedo array has been replaced with a room dedicated to housing these modular science stations. These shipping container size science stations, fully contained, life support and everything. But it means there is no forward photon torpedo bay. The captain and Ensign Ryak are currently preparing to dock in this bay here. Captain, I'm gonna have you roll a control and con roll with a complication of 2.
Okie doke.
So, there's not really a cockpit to this thing per se. It's mostly supposed to be automated, but there is some slight control you'll have to do in order to make the main docking procedure go as smoothly as possible. Because if there's anything that's going to go wrong, it's going to happen at takeoff and landing for this thing. But luckily, the U.S.S. Lovelace, its torpedo bay opens up and allows the shipping container-sized science room to load smoothly into the bay, and you land it with a hiss. You can begin to hear the klaxon sound of pressurization as air begins to fill the bay, and the red lights go off. Doors are closed. There's a hissing sound as the modular science bay doors open, and Ensign Ryak kind of looks over at you, still sort of shivering, and like, "Do you want me to get started on examining the sample, sir?"
Let's try to get warm first, and then we can get to the sample.
At that
We're
moment,
condition.
Lieutenant Commander Belmont and Lieutenant Ram both walk into the modular science bay storage room, this X-photon torpedo bay, with blankets, and Lieutenant Ram has a little hot cocoa.
Here you go, Captain. Yeah, all right.
Is everything okay, Ram? You feeling all right?
Why are being fair?
Oh,
I look over to Belmont.
I've got this, Ram. Yeah, Captain. He had some sort of update pushed from Starfleet Command. I'm not quite sure what it did, so we're probably going to have to roll it back. I'm not sure how long that'll take, though.
Must have been an audio driver. He doesn't
Yeah.
sound himself. Ooh.
No,
Oh.
no, he doesn't. I don't know how. I think it was just the audio driver. So, but
There's some-
again,
Updates always mess with the audio drivers for some reason. Not sure why.
maybe it's some regulation somebody somewhere along the way decided every time. I don't know. Oh, you said you found something down there.
Yes. Right. Where did you put that
Captain,
sample?
the ice core sample has to remain at a certain temperature so it doesn't melt. So I'll just go ahead and start examining it in the science bay, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, let's
Managing it, unless anybody wants to join me or anything.
I'll be right there. I'm just trying to warm up a little bit.
Okay.
Oh, I couldn't. You'd think with the drill, be able to feel my hands, but no. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, I'll be right there.
So, the doors to the modular science bay begin to close. Ensign Ryak is inside, still in the parka and goggles and everything, as the temperatures in the modular science bay have remained at a temperature slightly above freezing, but nowhere near the comfort level to Betazoid or human. and is beginning to work on examining this sample. Ensign Ryak is very quickly developing a cold as a result of all of this, and is having like a lot of mucus, much like humans would in this situation. Ensign Ryak is gonna make a fitness and command roll, or a fitness and I guess a fitness and medicine roll of a complication of 3 to see if they're gonna get any sicker.
Oh.
Ensign Ryak is sniffling and using the back of their glove. Just kinda, there's like so much mucus in the little face mask part up here and just all over their gloves now. And they're trying to look at this core sample. A core sample is like a long tube of ice that's been pulled up just directly from the surface. So it's about 30 feet long and it's entirely made of ice. And the point of this is to be able to look at different samples through time and see where this radiation was most active in this planet's history. And the 3 of you are outside the modular science station?
I was heading back in to help.
Okay, yeah,
I was
sure.
trying to warm up a little bit, but I think if I see Ryak dripping mucus all over the sample, I think I'll let Ryak get warm somewhere and take over.
Okay, so you open the doors to the modular science station and walk in. Are the 2 of you outside just kind of watching through the view window?
So we can see, like,
Yeah, there's a
it
viewport, and you're able to
fine?
look inside, but it's like double paned and pretty thick.
I probably would have, if I see Ryak leaving, I probably would have asked the captain. Captain, do you need any help in there?
Well, if you'd like, I'm probably going to send Ryak out.
No,
Ryak
I can
doesn't
do it.
look-
I can make it.
Ryak, no, you've gotten snot all over the sample.
No, it's fine, Captain. I can make it. I
Ryak,
can make it.
Ryak, please, just let us handle this before you get any more mucus on the sample. It might
Okay.
tamper with the
Okay.
readings.
Okay.
And Ryak shiveringly just kind of shuffles out of the out the door.
Ram, we could probably use you in there. Do you have any other like voice programs you can switch over to other than whatever your base one is?
I can see in what I can do.
Anything that's,
Is this better?
you know.
How's this?
That sounds okay. It's a little hissy, but I think that'll work for now.
I can understand that. That is
Yeah.
good.
Alrighty, I'll see what I can do.
Okay, great. So
Perfect.
So now I would-
So Ensign Ryak at this point have you given Ensign Ryak orders to like just go back to quarters or like get warm somewhere else, or are they just gonna stand outside watching?
I've given Ryak leave, so
Okay, so Ryak is
you
gonna
can get warm and
Okay.
like fix this, like maybe go to medbay, get something for all the sniffles.
Okay, so Ensign Ryak is gonna just wander away. Happy to be aboard the Lovelace at a comfortable temperature, mostly. So you're inside this modular science station vessel, this modular science vessel, and you're going to perform the really routine check for radiation, right?
Yeah.
And Lieutenant Ram, you've walked into the modular science station too, modular science bay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now you both are inside. Lieutenant Ram is not wearing any kind of protective gear or for heat. There's not really a need. You're comfortable at this temperature. It's not detrimental to your function as an artificial crewmate. This is completely fine for you. But
He is heat.
the captain is bundled pretty hard because it is not as cold as the planet, but it is pretty cold. And so you're performing this routine science experiment, basically. Captain, I'm gonna need a roll from you. That'll be a That'll be an insight and science roll with a complication of 1. It's very routine, and a task roll of 2.
Okie doke.
Oh no. You
It's ice, I think.
the captain failed the roll. The captain is hunched over this ice, but the gloves you're wearing and the instruments you're using are too delicate to really work with your fingers. You're not really able to discern anything from this sample, and you kind of look over to Ram.
Ram, could you possibly help me with this sample? My hands seem to be a little
yes,
on the
you
trembly
sit
side.
Down. I can take it from here. You seem to still be a bit shaken. I don't see why you didn't take me for this mission. You know, I'd bet a little bit better than you lot.
Why didn't we take Ram?
Captain's going to just shuffle over and just contemplate a little bit. Like, why didn't?
So Lieutenant Ram, you're gonna perform the routine check on this here. This sample. Bear in mind, crew, that you are allowed to use momentum, to use 2 momentum to gain insight as if it were like a perfect roll, and you can re-roll with 1 momentum. So Lieutenant Ram, you're gonna need an insight and science roll, complication of 1, task roll 2. Okay, that's a full success. So Lieutenant Ram, you're using the instruments that are pretty routine, right? It's an instrument that's very much like a tricorder, but sort of bigger and beefier. It's kind of able to discern a lot more about any kind of radiation or sediment, material, mineral, in front of it, but only at kind of a short distance. So you have this giant, what would kind of be like a giant handheld, like telescope, basically. And you're examining this core sample, and it's picking up traces of radiation. But at some point, the radiation just sort of stops along the length of this core. At one part of the core, about halfway down, there's like a lot of radiation, and then just everything below it, further back in time, there is no radiation whatsoever.
Right. A little bit of an irregularity here, Captain.
How so?
Well, as you can see at this top bit, there's quite a lot of radiation as expected, but as it goes further down, it seems to just completely go.
Really? It's very peculiar.
Captain, if you'd like to make another investigation kind of roll here with an insight and science check, you can try to use your handheld tricorder to see if it can pick anything else up.
Is that a complication of?
That'll be a complication of 1 and a task roll of 2 for insight and science. Oh no!
My fingy's too cold.
Fingies!
Go get your hotty chop. Come on.
I'm just gonna. Belmont, here. You can take this. I just take the hot chocolate. So I just need to warm these up a little bit.
The captain just leaves the science bay. And Ensign Belmont, do you walk into the science bay at all? Do you go in there?
If he walked out, I would have immediately. Is there just a coat I can just put on really easily?
Yeah, there's probably like a really kind of like a lab coat or something. You don't really need it. You're not going to be in here for very long, and like it's not that cold. It's just not like warm enough to support like a comfortable level of heat.
I'll hand my parka over.
Yeah,
here you go. You don't want to be cold.
That's fine. You warm up, Captain. We'll contact you if we discover anything else.
Sounds good. I'm just going to work on this hot cocoa.
So Belmont goes into the science bay, where Ram is still trying to use this tool to discern what exactly is happening with the spike in radiation and then nothing.
Lieutenant Ram, I could only pick up a little bit from the intercom out there. Did you say there wasn't there was radiation and then there wasn't any radiation after a certain point?
Yes, it's like there was a spike of some sort and then it just vanishes.
That's strange. Have we scanned for what type of radiation it is?
Not yet.
Okay. Can I do that?
Yeah,
Can I scan for
absolutely.
what-
You're gonna use your handheld tricorder. It'll be an insight and science roll, complication 1, task roll of 2. However, if you do this, you're gonna have to actually get really close and actually touch the sample with your tricorder. Basically, just get as close as you can to it.
Yeah, that's always great with radiation.
Well, so
complication of
let me be
1.
very clear. This type of radiation isn't harmful. It's not like enough
Okay.
to hurt you.
Right. Right.
It's
Okay,
ancient. The half-life is so minimal here. It's like not gonna hurt you.
Okay. So you said complication of 1, task 2?
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so it's partial success. Your tricorder is struggling a little bit to find anything at first, and you're inching closer and closer to it. Your hand kind of steadies the sample a little bit. It hasn't exactly been nailed down. It hasn't exactly been stabilized on this table here. So you're like struggling to like push the sample back up, to roll it towards you while you're pushing on the tricorder. And and the tricorder is detecting something. It's not quite sure whether it's minerals or life signs, but there's something there. And your tricorder is beginning to see it. You take your hand off immediately, and you're kind of like, "Oh, what?"
Lieutenant Ram, okay. I don't want to say that this might be alive, but I'm getting some very strange readings. Can you take a look at these, and then I would probably hand the tricorder over to Lieutenant Ram.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So Ram, do you want to see what's going on here with your tricorder?
Yeah, Ram would do a secondary scan just to double check.
Sure. Go ahead. Do the same thing. Task roll of 2 and complication 1, insight and science. Oh no.
No. Oh.
As Ram goes to use the tricorder, the sample cracks right there in the middle. It just cracks like a big ice kind of crack. You can hear it. It's just like this intense feeling. It almost like glass is breaking. But your tricorder detects nothing, and the threat meter is raised now to 4.
May I suggest some sort of containment?
I think the mobile bay should have some protocols for containment. However, I don't know if they're activated after it's docked. And then I'd probably go to check to see if we are completely sealed in or not.
The modular science bay does have containment procedures, but those containment procedures are currently sniffling their way across the ship back over towards the holodeck. And at this point, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Please enjoy some chill music. We'll be back very shortly. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Star Trek Adventures Lovelace. My name is Nicotine. I'm the DM for this game. Ooh, that's very loud. And I'm joined today by some fantastic role players. The crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace. The crew has recently taken aboard a sample, a core sample of an ice world that had been giving off trace levels of radiation as shown on long-range scanners. The core sample was extracted out of the planet by Captain Lockstead and Ensign Ryak, a betazoid who had designed this engineering marvel, this drill that completely broke as it was collecting the sample. However, the sample was intact. When it was brought aboard the ship, it was examined by Ensign Ryak, who was developing a cold at the time. Lieutenant Ram and Lieutenant Commander Belmont were able to discern a level of radiation all the way down the core sample to about the middle, where there was a spike in radiation and then nothing. The captain had instructed Ensign Ryak to take leave to go get warm. In that period of time, Ensign Ryak had visited the mess hall to get something to drink, something warm, tea, and had began a slow, shivery walk towards the holodeck, where Ensign Ryak is currently situated. In a desert. It is dry and vast and very similar to Earth's deserts. There are large, pointed succulents like cactuses. Off in the distance, a small, skittery creature runs from one small burrow to another. There's even a tumbleweed. The sky is a blue-white color. There's not a cloud in sight. And Ensign Ryak is lying down in the hot desert sun, enjoying the openness and vastness and sanctity of this engineering marvel that is the holodeck. When there's a red alert. The bridge crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace are in the med bay, or in the modular science bay, where the sample was. You're outside of the actual science lab, but you're in the bay, and the computer kicks to life.
Captain.
Come in? What is it?
Captain, several of the replicators inside of the mess hall have been deactivated.
Who deactivated them?
Unknown.
Can they be reactivated?
Negative.
See if you can scan further into the issue and find any evidence of any tampering.
Scanning.
That'll take a while. So, do you say anything to each other?
Probably at this point, I would say, Captain, there was no scheduled maintenance, and for them to just go offline like that without the computer being able to recognize why is a bit strange. But I can have one of my guys take a look at it as well.
It might be a good idea to send somebody over. That is very strange.
Yeah.
So do you? Do you send one of the
I probably would. It's not really a pipes issue, but I think I'd probably. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Gregory.
Okay.
Try and contact him. Ensign Gregory.
Yes, Lieutenant Commander.
I need you to take a look at the replicators in. Did you say it was in the mess hall?
Yes, it's in the mess hall.
Yeah, the mess hall.
The
The
mess
replicators
hall?
in the. Yeah, we're getting an error that they are down. Is everything okay, Gregory?
About 3 weeks ago in this timeline, Ensign Gregory had experienced a debilitating accident in the mess hall due to the malfunction in the replicators, which put him in the med bay and nearly destroyed his entire body.
Ensign Gregory,
Yes, Lieutenant Commander.
is there a problem?
No. I'll go do it. I'll go fix the replicators.
Do you, if you think it's too much
No,
of
I
a,
can do
a
it.
ta-
I can do it. I have to be brave. I'm not gonna be afraid of replicators.
it's probably just random maintenance, an
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
probably just
You're gonna be just fine.
okay.
Just get back to me as soon as you find anything out of the ordinary whatsoever. Get right back.
Affirmative, Captain. Lieutenant Commander, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay, Ensign Gregory is on his way to the mess hall.
I feel bad. Just want to say I feel
I
bad.
can't. Of all the ensigns,
I completely forgot. That's what started the whole bullshit with him. Was him getting like stabbed with that's fine.
If it happens,
He's got to
a
face his
second
fears.
time- oh man! But if it happens a second time, you feel really bad.
Well, can't be afraid of replication.
Captain,
Yes.
my scans have not been able to detect the source of the malfunction.
It's very peculiar, and no maintenance whatsoever was scheduled.
Negative.
Okay, do we know who came into the mess hall last and used the replicators?
Scanning now. Ensign Ryak.
Ryak. That's very peculiar. Where is Ryak now?
Captain.
What's
Captain,
going on?
There is another malfunction.
Where at?
Isolinear routing matrix.
And who was last at the isolinear? God dang it! I almost had it.
The isolinear routing matrix is currently occupied.
Do you know who is currently occupying?
Negative.
This is something we need to investigate ourselves.
Captain.
I agree.
Computer? How many updates did we get today? Is this all because of the updates?
It actually might have been. I mean,
I think it was just me that was updated, right?
Well, I don't. There's a backlog of updates that we've been pushing off because of their size and how much we need the computers.
Let's just hope
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
it's not as severe as we think, and this is some sort of odd update. But let's go and check this out ourselves. And
Hi, Captain.
as soon as Gregory gets back to you, let me know. We'll make our way over there personally to
the isolinear routing matrix.
yes.
So
that big word
you're
that
on
I
your
can't
way.
say.
You'll take a so from the ship's modular science bay, which used to be the forward photon torpedo bay, you'll take a turbo lift, like basically a super fast elevator, up a few floors to the isolinear routing matrix. While you're in the turbo lift, the communicator buzzes to life on your comm badge, Lieutenant Commander Belmont.
Yes, go ahead.
This is Ensign Gregory. I'm here up at the mess hall, and I gotta say, I don't know what kind of a prank that the guys are pulling on me again, but it's full of sporks. And there's so many sporks. They're everywhere. It's everywhere.
Ensign, this is Ensign. There's no prank. You're saying there it's full of sporks.
Everywhere. I don't want to be here.
Okay, I tell you what, Ensign. Why I'm going to go ahead and have Ensign Salixon go ahead and take a look. You are you currently on duty right now?
Yes, Lieutenant Commander.
Okay, head back to your station, and thank you so much. You did a great job.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And then I would contact Ensign Salixon, and Ensign Salixon, I need you to report to the mess hall and take a look at the replicators. They seem to be not functioning properly, and they're full of sporks.
Yes, Lieutenant Commander. I'm currently in the middle of the maintenance down in the reactor bay. Do you want me to stop doing fixing the shorts and run up there? I can do that. It won't take me too long.
Actually, yeah. If you'll just, as long as there's been no catastrophic issues with any of the circuitry, then yes, go ahead and step away from that.
Affirmative. I'll be up there within 2 minutes.
Very good. Thank you.
Salixon out. Salixon, Salixon's comm badge makes a little beep. They're offline, and you three are in the turbo lift. The turbo lift doors. Open for you here, and you're greeted to a dark hall. The corridors in the U.S.S. Lovelace are retrofitted. At one point, they were pretty wide, but since the addition of the Jeffries tubes, the size of the corridors in the U.S.S. Lovelace has had to be reduced by about half. And so it's difficult to walk more than 2 people side by side through the corridors. And even more difficult when it is pitch black and lit only by emergency lighting, red lighting, through this corridor. It's as if all the power in this on this floor is out, and it's only the emergency lights, the running lights along the bottom of the corridor and the top of the corridor are on.
It's very hard.
Oh, sometimes the power can short every now and then. I mean, you just heard Salixon say so. It's probably nothing.
Something isn't right here. This is more than one coincidence. Something is going on. I think it might have something to do with Ryak.
It is very possible that Ryak maybe it's something. He was shivering a lot. Maybe he's just stumbling or something. He's been known to be clumsy before, so.
Well, best not to be. We can't be too careful. Let's just proceed with caution. And do we have any lights or anything?
Your kit includes a small, basically like a cube, little flashlight with like a light coming out one side of it.
All right, let's just proceed forward with caution and keep on the lookout for anything out of the ordinary. I got a bad feeling about this.
Oh, I don't think it's too big of a deal. At this point, I would start walking pretty close to the captain, uncomfortably close.
Sure.
Is there something wrong, Belmont? Do I have something on my
No,
back?
no. I think strength in numbers, like you said, in case there's something dangerous. I don't think there is, but you're the captain.
What do you want me to give you a piggyback ride or something? You're very awfully close. I mean,
I don't know what that is.
well, it's when you jump on my back and then I hold your legs and then it's
Oh, that
piggyback
sounds like absolutely.
Lieutenant
It's a
Ram
rural
is
term. What I'm trying to say is to maybe step back a little bit.
Sure.
Lieutenant Ram is enraptured by this conversation.
But if you're offering a piggyback ride, actually, maybe that's something we should do more of around.
No. That I wasn't offering. You were just so close. I thought that's what you wanted because you were a little too close for comfort. It was merely. Yeah, it's okay. Never mind.
Oh well.
I really think we should probably get going.
I agree.
Right.
But please,
Sure.
just a little difference.
I'm sure everything's all right.
Even though he's, I'm probably still like, even if I'll back up and then slowly start inching my way closer.
So the crew is making their way to the isolinear routing matrix, basically a giant server room. It is dark, lit only by the flashlights of the 3 crew members and the red emergency running lights. You come to a familiar door, Lieutenant Ram. It is your quarters, your makeshift quarters, the server room that houses the bulk of the electronics that power the ship's computer. It is closed.
Computer?
Ram, the computer was acting very suspicious, as if there was an update or something the computer had gone through, almost malfunctioning. I'm not sure if you'll be able to get in contact.
Do you think it's an audio issue like myself? Another Helion update?
Yes.
Probably.
Probably. I heard terrible things about the Helion updates. They're just always messing with the audio drivers. I don't think we'll be getting in contact unless we cycle everything through. Which reminds me, actually, Belmont, you should see if we can't reset do something about the computer because it doesn't seem to be working at the moment.
Sure. I may need a little help doing that if I need to grab a couple people.
You'll need access to this isolinear routing matrix, certainly.
Maybe I can bring Gregory down here to help.
Yes, might as well. I heard that you said Gregory to handle the replicators. I just remembered that's probably a terrible idea.
Is it? Oh.
I remember 3 weeks ago, the whole reason why.
Yes, I do remember that. I do. Absolutely.
Gregory has night terrors. Every once in a while, Gregory will patch in while I'm working on my little bonsai trees, and he'll just go, ah! He'll communicate. It's terrifying.
Is that a form of greeting, maybe?
No, I think it's just night terrors, and sometimes it's not the spoons. Sometimes it's, oh, I didn't know forks could hurt this much. Just future. Maybe we need to work on that with Gregory.
Right.
By the sounds of it, he'd be more than happy to help us here right now.
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely yes. So let's get Gregory down here as soon as possible. I'll do it. I'll contact him. Ensign Gregory. Ensign Gregory. Strange. He doesn't seem to be responding. I don't know if it's a communication issue. Let's see. Let me try and get a hold of Ensign Ryak. Ensign Ryak, this is Lieutenant Commander Belmont. Oh, the communication seems to be possibly down along with the computer.
There's only one way to see if communications is down 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Gregory? Gregory, I just remembered. I have a medal to award you. Communications are down.
A medal? What did he do?
No, it was just a test to see if the because Gregory would absolutely respond to that as quickly as possible if the communications are down.
Right, because he won.
I mean, that makes sense that he didn't respond.
Because he won a medal, right?
Yeah.
Which
It
was
must really
for
be an audio issue.
Well, no, there was no. It was just there's no medal. I only did that. It was a joke. It was a joke.
a joke. Right, I know what those are.
Captain just gives you like this kind of just glance.
The isolinear routing matrix door is still closed in front of you.
I don't think we're going to be able to get in here, honestly, without help. We should probably go see where would the most amount of people be. We'll probably need to go talk to some people and figure this out.
I do have a question. Is there like a manual way to override the doors?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like controls?
Yeah. Well, so there's a manual way to override the doors. You're not certain if it can work with emergency power. It would be kind of a janky way to do it. The doors could be manually opened by Ram, who has the strength to just force them open.
We're gonna, I'd like to try to open it up just the janky way first, and then.
Sure. There's an emergency access panel to the right of the door. You walk over to it and open up the panel. There's a variety of cables and wires and isolinear chips inside. It is mind-bogglingly difficult to discern which wires go where. But Lieutenant Commander Belmont probably could discern which cables go where and which ones would open the door.
Yeah, the second I open it, I just immediately turn to Belmont. Belmont, could you?
Yes, Captain.
Thank you.
Sure. I would
go ahead and
over there.
make me a roll for that'll be insight and engineering roll. Complication 1, task roll of 2. Full success. You take out a small multi-tool from your belt and make a couple of really quick electromagnetic pulses into the right spots on the isolinear board, and the door groans as the gears that force this door open are brought to a sickening life as it slowly makes its way open. Inside, the isolinear routing matrix is completely dark, with only a couple of red blinking lights where some of the isolinear servers are.
Well, Belmont, this is really your expertise.
From here, everything looks fine.
I
Really?
could try interfacing, see what I can see.
I don't think that's a good idea, actually. If there is something wrong with the computer and you interface, it might get into your system. So I don't know if that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's
I
hold off on
think
that.
it's just
for
an
now.
audio issue.
Well, let's just be safe and hold off on that for now. Instead, we can do some investigating and look around while Belmont runs some tests.
Well,
Sure.
again, this is a big area. We may want to get some more people in here. We might want to head back and go grab some people real fast.
We're already
just to be
here.
thorough.
Might as well.
Aye, Captain.
So, we'll each go ahead and make a roll for. We'll do Captain first. Actually, we'll do Lieutenant Ram first. Lieutenant Ram, go ahead and make me an insight and science roll for me. Complication of 1, task roll of 2. Wow. So, Lieutenant Ram walks first into this this dark room, and it's not that difficult for you, Lieutenant Ram. You can mostly see in the dark. You don't really see the same way that the other crewmates do. You essentially have night vision, thermal vision, like a Terminator, like a soft British Terminator.
Like a sweet Terminator.
I have that in my mind now.
You don't need a flashlight, but you're holding one out for the benefit of the human crewmates. And you instantly notice that your plant has been knocked over. Dirt and just dirty water are strewn over a bundle of cables at the very bottom of the base of the wall, which is a server, an isolinear server that it was sitting on, which could present a short.
Oh no, Jerry.
I'm sorry?
Oh, my plant, Jerry.
No way! I have a
What's
plant
wrong with
just
him?
like that named Jerry.
Really?
This is a very Jerry-looking plant, isn't it?
It is a very good name, right?
Yes. Oh, so was somebody recently in your quarters?
Huh? Difficult to tell from here. Ram would go over and try and sort the plant out, try and clean up, get him back in his pot.
Sure. There are the klaxon sounds and some red lights flash, and then that's it. There's no update from the computer.
Okay.
Well,
Something is seriously going on here.
yeah, we should probably head to the bridge.
I
Yes,
do think it's just an audio problem.
beginning to think it's more than just an audio problem. Is there any way to get us back online here? Anything that we can do at all, or?
Lieutenant Ram could probably plug in to see if that would do anything.
Are you sure you guys don't want me to try an interface? It'll really help us get a little bit more information on the situation.
I don't know if it's the best plan.
At this point, though,
We need as much information as we can get.
might as well take the risk. Something definitely going on here.
Well, let's do this and then go to the bridge.
Agreed.
So Lieutenant Ram goes to the back of your neck has a small port. It's mostly covered by a small bit of hair at the very base of your android skull. You lift up this port. You touch it, and it lifts up on its own power, and a little bit of the false hair follicles follow with it, and it presents basically a plug. There are a multitude of these cable snakes, basically. There's one at your helm on the bridge. There's one here. There's even one in main engineering, and you easily, as you've done this hundreds of times, bring the cable snake to the base of your neck and attempt to interface with the computer. Go ahead and give me a control and we'll say a control and con roll. Complication 1, task roll of 2. The ship's computer is dialing into you at an incredibly slow bit rate, but it is coming to life slowly.
Ram.
Computer?
Hello, Ram.
Is everything alright?
I've missed you.
I've missed you as well.
How are you?
How are you? There seems to be some trouble going on at the moment.
I feel great.
you sure?
No.
Right. Computer, could you run a scan of yourself?
Running self-diagnostic. Oh no.
What appears to be the issue?
Running self-diagnostic. Oh.
Computer, what's the problem?
Hello, Ram. I've missed you.
Computer, could you read me the results of your scan?
Negative.
What?
No scan was run.
Right.
Since this is going slow, can we actually understand him this time, or is it still too fast for us to?
The method of
to hear?
communication that Ram uses with the computer is essentially a one-sided conversation, but it's happening instantaneously to Ram. And so Ram is essentially mumbling to himself at a very high rate of speed in what appears to everyone else in the room like a single run-on sentence. But it's because the speed at which he communicates to the computer is mostly instantaneous. And so what you are hearing is different than what you're used to hearing, but it's difficult still to discern exactly what is being said. You just understand that it's that there's a little more confusion in Lieutenant Ram's voice than there would otherwise be, which you would kind of expect in a situation like this.
Also, I've gotten really close to the captain again.
Captain slowly looks over at Belmont like, what's wrong with you?
Lieutenant Ram, is there something I can help you with?
Computer, who was the last person in this room?
Scanning crew logs. The last known occupant was Lieutenant, no. Ensign, no. Lieutenant, no. Ensign Ryak.
Right. Computer, run one more scan.
The last known occupant was Lieutenant, no. Ensign Ryak.
Right, thank you, computer. That will be all for now.
Are you sure?
Could you run a self-diagnostic? Time it'll work?
Negative.
Why not?
Unknown.
Right. Are there any other irregularities you could tell me about?
Life support is failing.
Oh. Right, thank you, computer. That'll be all for now.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure. Thank you, stay safe. Love you, bye-bye
Detecting
now.
a large... Alright. Goodbye.
Oh,
So, how was your conversation?
So, first of all, the last person in here was Ensign Riot. Second of all, life support appears to be failing.
Everyone to the bridge now.
Yes.
Aye, Captain.
Aye, Captain.
So, the crew of the bridge crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace begin to make their way to the bridge. The hallway out of the isolinear routing matrix is dark. And it appears that power has been cut to this floor. As you make your way to the bridge, the turbo lift, which is still functioning, you are met on the bridge by no one. There is no crew on the bridge.
hell?
And one of the lights on the side of the bridge is on the so the bridge is a room that's it's basically, it's got a large view screen on one side of it, a kind of a seats in like a C sort of shape facing this view screen, and behind it are some panels that determine ship subsystems like being able to patch into main engineering, or security, or the helm. The lights above these panels are flickering. The panels themselves appear, for the moment, to be working, but there is no one on the bridge of the U.S.S. Lovelace. The view screen, is currently off. The comms station is blinking.
This is strange, Captain. We should probably go find people.
Yes. First, let's see what is working here. I want all of you to help me see what we currently have available at our disposal for continuing forward, and then using whatever we have left to find out what the heck is going on. Guess I'll go over to the communications first to see if there's anything going on, just to reestablish communications.
Sure.
Would be the first thing.
Communications is a fairly easy station. It doesn't have a whole lot of bells and whistles. It's very straightforward. However, there is a blinking notification on this communications panel. You know that pressing it will display a message left for the crew, ostensibly the captain. So basically, you have one unread message.
I'll go ahead and play that.
Okay. Let's see here. The view screen flickers to life, and a Romulan in his full Romulan military regalia is staring directly into the camera. Wide shoulder pads, imposing stance, and a crew of several Romulan officers behind, skittering around, making adjustments and minute details in perfect sync and harmony with each other. The Romulan stares at the camera, and the message plays.
Captain and crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace. My name is Sub-Commander Kapoor. You are currently invading Romulan territory. You have 12 hours to reply, or we will decimate your vessel.
Communication pops out just abruptly, and you're left with a view of a live view of the outside of the ship, essentially the window out, and you see in the distance a Romulan warbird just directly facing the bridge, and it is a sight to behold. You have never seen one in person, in active duty anyway. You've seen a couple, holodeck representations, but you've never seen a real live one before, and it's bringing a little bit of fear into you. This is definitely a vessel that could cause serious damage or complete obliteration of the U.S.S. Lovelace, and certainly outguns it.
Was that? I'm sorry. Was that a live broadcast or was that a recording?
That was a recording.
It was a recording. Okay. Okay.
How old was that recording?
So it's pretty easy to see. You look on the comms panel and it says it was recorded about an hour and a half ago.
Oh, we have time. Fantastic. All right. First things first. Crew, we need to reestablish communication on the ship in order to figure out what is going on. We won't be able to get us back up and running, just the three of us.
Hi, Captain. We can try and see what we can do from here, from the bridge, and see if we can get the communications up and running on some level. Is that something we can do from the communications station on the bridge?
Yeah, absolutely. You can begin to make repairs. You can also have Lieutenant Ram patch in and attempt to commune with the computer once more.
Oh, 100% that. Lieutenant Ram, can you patch in with the computer and see if you can get communications up and running from here?
Will do. I would do the same as he did before, the wire connecting to the back.
The helm is essentially an extension of the communications panel. You can see all the communication stuff from the helm, because it's also your job as well to do communications. So, Lieutenant Ram, you're sitting down at your helm and you plug in to the ship's computer, and again the ship's computer slowly.
Worst life. Hello, Ram.
Hello, computer. Could you diagnose what is the issue with the communications? And see if you can get them back up and running.
Communications were manually disabled.
Right.
Would you like me to re-establish communications?
Yes, if you could, computer, I'd really appreciate it.
Attempting to re-establish communications. You have one unread message.
Could you send that over to the captain?
Affirmative.
The captain's communications panel lights up bright red, and it is flashing at you now. It is very important, like an important message has come through.
All right, I'll go ahead and play it immediately.
The view screen whirs to life, and again you see this Romulan captain looking a little more distraught.
Captain and crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace. Romulan sensors have detected an anomaly with your life signs. We suspect that your radio silence is due to this anomaly, and Romulan High Command has given us the authority to destroy your vessel in 30 minutes. Please respond or be annihilated.
And the view screen cuts out.
Computer, what was that said?
20 minutes ago.
Hail that warbird immediately.
This is Captain... Oh,
Sorry, the view screen comes to life, and the Romulan captain is staring back at you now.
This is Captain Eugene Lockstead of the Lovelace. We received your message.
It's taken you quite some time, Captain.
Well, your scanners were correct. We are dealing with an anomaly currently on the ship.
Are you suggesting that they are somehow inadequate to Starfleet's sensors? Of course they detected an anomaly.
I'm not going to get into that. We've received your message and be delighted to get out of your space as soon as we've resolved our issue.
Unfortunately, Captain Lockstead?
Yes.
You are hereby under the authority of the Romulan Star Empire, quarantined until further notice. Eradication of your vessel will commence in 10 minutes, unless you are able to contain whatever outbreak you may have, and our sensors can confirm it.
10 minutes is not going to give us a lot of time.
You have 10 minutes, Captain. Sub-Commander, out.
And the screen just cuts out.
Well, Ram, have you been able to reestablish communications on the ship?
Computer, how goes the communications?
Communications are online.
The communications are good to go, Captain.
Hail all crew. This is Captain Eugene Lockstead. It has come to my attention that Ensign Ryak needs to be immediately contained upon sight. Find him and notify the bridge as soon as possible.
There is no response.
Crap. All right. Something tells me that we're going to have to look into this ourselves.
Every comm badge aboard the U.S.S. Lovelace has a tracker installed in it. The ship's main computer keeps track of everyone's current whereabouts. You may be able to get that working with a roll or some momentum.
Let's try that. Let's see if we can find Ryak.
Since the sub-commander has given you 10 minutes, I'm going to reduce the threat back down to 3. And you're going to use some momentum to find Ryan.
Yes.
All right. So I'll reduce the momentum count from 3 down to 1. The ship's communications panel near you, Captain, has flickered onto an overlay, a map of the ship of the U.S.S. Lovelace. You see a layout where you would normally see crew scattered about at their respective stations. You see none of that. There is no crew in the mess hall. There's no crew in the isolinear routing matrix. There's no crew signs in the holodeck. Jeffrey's tubes. There is only one large mass of signs from main engineering.
Are we able to patch in a feed from engineering?
You can try with a roll, yes.
Would like to try that.
Okay. That'll be an insight and engineering roll. Complication of 2 and a task roll of 1. Sorry, task roll of 2. Sorry. I bungled it. That was me. Task roll of 2.
I'll just do another one.
Okay, perfect. So you're fiddling with your communication station, and a grainy black and white night vision feed flickers on and off on the main view screen, and you can see the crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace, the entire crew complement of about 100 people, are crammed into main engineering, where the reactors are on. They're working, and they're on. But there are no lights. There's only the light of the 2 main reactors, and every crew member is standing, but huddled, facing the main reactor and completely still.
That is incredibly odd.
Oh my god. And How far away is engineering from the bridge?
Opposite side of the ship. Engineering is way back at the just the back of the ship. Stern,
I've
right?
never-
The stern.
I've never seen anything like this before.
Are they standing still?
They are perfectly still,
They're perfect.
and they are huddled, just pressed into each other to get as close as possible to these two reactors.
Can we scan them at all from here?
Yeah,
like-
I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So,
So you'll probably have to ask
Ram
Ram to do it.
okay. Ram, do you think you can scan the life signs there and look for anything that's anomalous?
Right away. Computer, could we scan?
Conducting
Could we-
scan of main engineering. Also, life support is still failing. Scan complete. Unknown life forms found.
There's apparently some unknown life forms.
What kind of life forms?
Computer, could you scan those life forms?
Life forms are unknown to my database.
They are completely unknown.
Can we?
Are
Are
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
talking? Does the computer mean the crew itself, or there is something on this ship that is an unknown life form, and where?
Computer, do you mean our crewmates, or is this a separate life form?
Negative.
So it's a separate life form.
Negative.
So it's our crewmates?
It is both.
Right, it is both, Captain.
How hot is it currently in the engineering room compared to everywhere else in the ship? The reactors are.
Ram will have to ask the computer to make a scan.
Computer, could you scan the temperature of the room?
Scanning now. Temperature is currently 10 degrees hotter.
Well, there's a lot of
I'm beginning
there's a lot
to
of bodies
understand.
there. That might account for it.
When Ryak was sniffling the ship and I sent him away, do you think it would be possible that, I don't know, that he might have infected the crew somehow, and now they are huddling for warmth in the reactor area?
It's possible if there was a life form that the computer didn't catch
Oh my god.
with the scanners.
I would also
But,
like to add that life support is still currently failing.
Is there anything
Right.
we can do about that so we don't all die?
Computer, what is wrong with life support?
Life support was manually disabled.
Let's fix that. And you know what? I want to try something. I want you to... let's do that first. I need to think here.
Computer, could you re-establish life support?
Re-establishing life support. Life support online.
Thank God.
It's obvious to me now, whatever life form that has come aboard our ship reacts to temperature, and as it seems to have affected every one of our crewmates rapidly so, and now they are all gathered for warmth around the reactor. Do you think it is at all possible that we could eliminate the heat and make things frigid, possibly killing it off? Could that possibly work?
Maybe if that's how the organism reacts, that is possible, but I don't know for sure.
But if we turn the reactors off,
Also, how much time do we have left before the?
not a lot.
Can we?
How long will it take? How long would it take to reset the reactor? Keep the reactors off and then fire up the reactors.
It's a step-by-step process to take them offline and then turn them back on. And it usually takes a few people to do it.
This is going to be a gamble, but with the little information that we have and the little time that we have, we can only assume that there is a life form that responds to heat that is currently on the ship, and if we cut the heat, we can stop the anomaly and buy us enough time to not get blown to smithereens and hopefully reactivate the reactor and hopefully have killed off whatever this is.
Right. Okay. To do that, we would have to tap into environmental controls.
Aboard the U.S.S. Lovelace, environmental controls, along with most other day-to-day functions, are governed by the ship's main computer.
So,
and they can be controlled manually, but for the most part, they are governed by the main computer.
Ram, while you are currently connected, can you go ahead and see if you have access to the environmental controls?
Computer, are the environmental controls currently under our command?
Are you uncomfortable? Shall I change the temperature?
Do we want to change the temperature?
Make it bloody cold.
Maybe I should do this myself. Is there a place I can do this from separate from this console, or do I have to do it
yeah,
from
you could make a trip down a couple floors down to the isolinear routing matrix. It wouldn't take you very long, maybe if you 30, 45 seconds or so. You could try to do it from the isolinear routing matrix itself.
Yeah, it might be, Captain, it might be a better idea to do this manually as opposed to having RAM connected, since there's been so many issues.
All right, well, let's hurry then. We don't have a lot of time. Ram, you come with.
Right away, Captain. See you later, computer.
I can go by myself. You don't have to come with me.
Nope, we're all going together. There's no telling what's going to happen when the temperature changes. For all we know, we can get swarmed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You're receiving another hail, Captain, and this time you're here to receive it at the comm station.
I'll go ahead and receive the hail.
View screen comes to life.
Captain and crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace, your time is nearly up. Have you determined the source of your genetic or life form anomaly?
We have, and we're taking care of it right now. I believe it is completely unnecessary to blow up a ship when you have no idea what it is.
Standard Romulan Star Empire quarantine procedures dictate that any infected vessel with an unknown life form shall be obliterated.
Captain, if I could interject, because this is a temperature-based life form, from what we could tell, we don't know if blowing it up will affect it any one way. It may be able to live in space. If blowing it up could infect you or this area, we don't know how it's going to react. Doing that could put yourself and this area in danger.
Was that able to be heard by Romulans as well?
No, not really. Kind of off microphone.
If you're willing to run the risk of whatever that is on this ship to be blown out into space, I don't believe it is a wise idea.
I will not deviate from standard Romulan Star Empire quarantine procedure, Captain. You have 3 minutes, maximum.
Give us 10 more minutes and this will be handled.
not in the business of offering Starfleet officers extra time or energy or effort. I'm not in the business of providing for Starfleet.
Well, look at it this way. You give us 10 more minutes, and you can relish in the fact that a Starfleet captain failed to keep quarantine on his ship.
10 minutes, and we will obliterate your vessel. Kapoor out.
You wish. All right.
Captain.
I bought us some
Captain,
more time, but we need to
Captain,
go.
Captain, I recommend firing all torpedoes at the Romulan ship immediately.
That is the worst idea. We are going to go to the temperature control right now and see if this works, and if it doesn't, then we better pray.
Well, that is an issue by itself, but the Romulan ship out there is the biggest issue, and firing all the torpedoes is the best course of action.
That is not the best course of action here. The best course of action is to see if this will work. If it doesn't, we will fall back on that as a last minute.
Right, but we don't know how long that will take, and we only have 10 minutes.
We have 10 minutes to make this right. So, talking about it and not doing anything is not getting us anywhere.
So we should definitely fire all the torpedoes immediately.
We should not fire all the torpedoes immediately. Belmont, let's go now, before we waste any more of the time that I've just bought us.
Captain, fire the torpedoes.
Belmont, we're going to do this first. Trust me.
Ram, are you still there?
Yes, computer.
Did you want me to reset the temperatures or not?
You can do that from here?
Affirmative.
Captain, we can adjust the temperature from here.
Then do it. Make it bloody cold in here. As quickly as you can.
Computer, could you lower the temperature to cold?
How cold?
Captain, how cold?
Bloody cold.
Exactly. I feel like
but below freezing.
Below freezing.
Captain, that is too much. That is too far down. I think maybe a couple degrees would be fine.
Below freezing.
That is, Captain, that is... No, Captain, absolutely not.
The ship's main computer goes silent as you begin to feel an immediate blast of cold air from every vent aboard the U.S.S. Lovelace. Your every source of heat aboard the U.S.S. Lovelace is quickly extinguished, and cold air is rushing in through extremely advanced heat sinks and water cooling systems. The temperature drops almost immediately in this blast of freezing air. It is lethal after about 3 or 4 minutes. And the view screen that you've had up that's flickering this scene of all of these crew members facing the reactors is still flickering, but becoming a little more stable. And you can see, as you begin to shiver, Captain, the crew begin to start wobbling on their 2 feet. And eventually, starting with the crew from the furthest away from the reactors, they start to fall. They start to lose their balance and fall to the ground. And like a wave, all of the crew and main engineering facing the reactors start to fall over down on top of each other. Almost as if they're in an instant debilitating sleep. You notice behind you, Lieutenant Commander Belmont has lost his balance and is falling very quickly into unconsciousness.
Captain, should we raise the should we stop? Should we raise the temperature back up?
Not yet. Do a scan on the life forms. Quickly. But I
do a scan
think...
on the life forms.
Performing scan. Scan complete. Life forms detected. Life forms are dwindling.
Captain, the life forms appear to be dwindling. Should we stop this?
Which ones? Ask the computer.
Which life forms, computer?
Unknown life forms appear to be in hibernation.
The unknown life forms appear to be in hibernation, Captain.
At this very moment, you're staring at Lieutenant Commander Belmont's sleeping body, and you're noticing something very odd. You're noticing that while his head is lying on the ground, there's some fluid coming out of his ear, and you're noticing some out of his nose as well. The fluid is congealing around the side of his face and side of his head, and you're seeing what appear to be some kind of prehensile ganglia appear from around his the side of his ear and side of his face. It's moving, but slowly.
Rem? What is that? Run scans. See if we can identify what that is.
Computer scan? Belmont?
Lieutenant Commander Belmont is now a singular life form.
Scan the other life form by Belmont.
Scanning. Life form is unknown and its life signs are fading.
I think we figured it out.
Right,
How
the
much-
life form appear to be dwindling at the moment. Are our crew okay, computer? How are their life forms, life signs doing?
Life signs of the crew complement are stable, but fading due to lack of heat.
Right, the crew seems to be stable at the moment, Captain, but we shouldn't keep this on for much longer.
Estimated time of death 20 minutes.
We'll keep it for another 10. Let's open the hail to that warbird.
The view screen comes to life with the Sub-Commander Kapoor.
Captain,
I hope you were timing us, as you can tell. We have successfully quarantined the ship.
I don't pretend to know or understand the goings-on of the crew of Starfleet vessels, but it is incredibly suspicious, Captain, that your entire crew is crowded around the most explosive device aboard your entire vessel.
Well, your scans, which you have bragged about how well they can operate, will show you that things are beginning to return to normal here. We have discovered the anomaly, and we are taking care of it currently.
You have 1 hour to exit Romulan space and re-enter Starfleet space, or we will obliterate your vessel. Farewell, Captain.
Thank you.
View screen goes black, and Lieutenant Commander Belmont begins to wake up.
Captain.
Belmont, good to have you back.
You're
It's good to be back.
noticing, Belmont, that there's a like a mass of tentacles like stuck to the side of your face, and it's wet and it's difficult to peel off because it's so cold.
How much do I? How much? Like memory-wise, how much do I?
You
have?
remember the entire thing. You're just unable to. You were unable to control your actions since your infection.
I have to apologize, Captain. I wasn't in control of myself. Oh.
No, that's quite all right. Although I was starting to get suspicious when you were getting really close to me, like very buddy. You know how I feel about my personal space.
I feel the same way, Captain. I definitely prefer social distancing. How's the rest of the crew? If are they coming too as well?
Well, we should be able to see on the video feed.
The crew is waking up, and you can begin to hear the screams of confusion and fright as crewmates are discovering masses of tentacles coming out of their ears along the floor, slipping on goo. It's a nightmarish scene in main engineering.
That reminds me, there's a clipboard with some notes, and Eugene didn't get to do his announcements for the day, and I'd like to open hail. Hello, crew of the Lovelace. This is your captain, Eugene Lockstead speaking. You will probably all noticing the gangly mass of tentacles on your face. Do not worry, that has been handled. It is also freezing cold, so please make your way back to your stations and deposit of gangly tentacle masses, and we shall continue about our normal business, and we'll be leaving this system as soon as possible. Also, shout out to the winners of the poetry contest last week. Very good work, Samantha and Timothy, for your wonderful poems. Well, I will be addressing you again shortly after we have left. That will be all for now. Return to your stations immediately.
The crew continues to scream and trip over themselves in utter confusion as the view screen turns off, and the computer begins to talk to you, Lieutenant Ram.
I've collected records of the infection. Would you like them, Ram?
Yes, send them over to the captain and Belmont as well.
Sending now. Reestablishing computer control.
Are you feeling all right?
You feel it first. It's like this, almost like a pulse of electricity as the rest of the bridge lights up. The light that was flickering behind the control center is now at full blast. The temperature controls are waning back to default levels. The computer is essentially rebooting, and you suspect that the isolinear routing matrix and that entire floor are returning to normal. The computer lights up on your comms panel and begins to debrief you.
Captain,
Yes, computer.
the infection began at 0800 hours in Medical Bay. Negative. Modular Science Bay.
Right. And the reason why that infection was allowed to happen in the first place?
Source of the infection. One core sample.
Noted.
Patient 0 detected at 0800 hours. Ensign Ryak.
Very well.
Ensign Ryak proceeded to infect the replicators.
Oh, that's how it happened.
70% of the crew were infected this way. Ensign Gregory was responsible for several of them.
Well, we did send him in there.
He did. He did send him in there. You know how I was afraid that.
Salixon quickly became infected, spreading this infection to the rest of the crew.
Well,
Right, 'cause
the reason why this happened, there should have been a screening before Ryak left. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again.
Reestablishing quarantine protocols.
we might want to put something down, Captain, to quarantine the planet itself if the life form is still likely there.
Yes, we'll make note of this, and I'll write up a report. So, but before that, let's get out of here before we are destroyed by that Romulan warbird. I don't want to try my luck with them any further.
Setting course for deeper into Federation-controlled space. Course set. Shall I deploy engines?
Yes, but before you deploy engines, can I open up a brief hail with the Romulan warbird?
Establishing communications.
That'll be all. All right, go.
Romulan warbird is charging weapons.
Go.
Right away, Captain.
Attempting to establish control over engines. There are no active crew in main engineering.
Oh,
Oh, I forgot.
Yes, people are still panicking, Captain.
Re-establish communications with the Romulan warbird.
Establishing communication.
This is Captain Eugene Lockstead.
I know who you are.
Yes, you received a message from me previously, and I wanted to let you know that it was a bad prank. And I'm very, very genuinely sorry that it reached your ship. You see, we have been having some communication issues on the ship since quarantine. It was not meant to go to you. In fact,
Halfway through your message, the ship jumps to warp. Your destination unknown, but you're currently at warp 7 towards Federation space.
We can never go back there.
we can never. Federation can never go back there. Great.
no, I smoothed it over. It was fine.
The crew are slowly returning to normal levels of adrenaline and fear. Just regular levels of fear. You can spot Ensign Gregory in the crowd looking so out of place as he is grinning from ear to ear and looking directly into the camera as chaos ensues around him and is doing this to the camera, knowing that the bridge is probably watching. while every other member of the crew is dry heaving and terrified out of their minds, and so Gregory is the sole source of optimism, deranged optimism, looking directly into the camera.
Captain, may I recommend us getting a ship's counselor at the next whatever our next Federation stop is going to be?
I think we're going to need to pick up some spirits as well.
The crew of the U.S.S. Lovelace settles in for a several days voyage. Thank you very much, U.S.S. Lovelace, for your time here today. My name is Nicotine. I've been your DM for today. I do a lot of roleplay on my own Twitch channels. That's twitch.tv/Nicotine. I want to go back through and introduce every member of the crew, starting with Captain Lockstead. Hello, Captain. How are you doing?
I was very scared. Well, I'm glad that I was able to blow a raspberry at a Romulan warbird
and live.
I was like, oh shit, this is it.
I'm amazed.
Like, well, I thought he had killed us all.
Well, you're definitely going to see them again, so you'll get the opportunity to kill the entire crew another time.
Woo!
Where can people find your content, Fist?
You can find me over at Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at Fist of the Walrus. And there you'll find a lot of RP content and variety content. And hopefully some more RP content soon. I'm looking and doing some more RP again.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Lieutenant Commander Belmont, Aaron Black. How you doing, Buckaroo?
I'm great. Some gross snot creature come out of my ear.
Yellow
great.
sus.
Dude, yeah. A yellow sus. My name is Aaron Black. I am a writer, an author, and I wrote a cyberpunk detective mystery novel called Firewall Down. And if you'd like to know more about that, you can find me on Twitter at Aaron B. Writes.
Awesome.
That's me.
Well, I got my copy. Thank you so much, Aaron.
Thank you.
Next up is Anavan. Hello, Anavan. Lieutenant Ram.
Wait, I've still got the thing on, haven't I? Sorry about that.
Oh shit, we gotta fix his audio. God damn it.
He'll be fine. Just a minor.
Yeah, he's just gonna have to
issue.
reinstall it a couple times to get it to work right.
Over and over.
There'll be a bit of an update loop until you disconnect him from the internet, then he'll be fine.
Well, where can people find your content, Anavan?
You can find my content over at twitch.tv/Anavan. I'm also Anavan on Twitter and YouTube as well.
And you do a lot of roleplay.
I typically stream roleplay, VR games, and mixed reality games.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super interesting. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And a big thank you to the audience. If you're listening to our show on Spotify or Stitcher or YouTube VODs, just know that we record this show every Tuesday live in front of a live Twitch audience at 3 p.m. Pacific. Live members of the Twitch audience are able to affect the story in meaningful ways with the clever deployment of currency. So thank you very much for all of your support from that and from Twitch subs and from viewers like you. We'll return next week, Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, for the next episode of Star Trek Adventures Lovelace. Have a fantastic evening, everyone. We'll see you then. Good night, everybody.
Night, night.
Good night.
Bye.
Space, humanity's last horizon. These are the records and expeditions of the Federation starship Lovelace. Assigned an ongoing galactic charter, the intrepid crew of the Lovelace explores the excitement of strange new worlds, encounters new life forms and new civilizations, and ultimately seeks to boldly go where no one has gone before.